It doesn't click. So now they changing their whole nonprofit certification program.
I can believe that. You deliver the message to us in such a very easy to understand way, right? You talk to us as if our auntie is talking to us, right? Not Professor, right, Burgess. You tell it, you keep it real, you tell it straight. And I love that about your teaching style. I would imagine that most people would as well, especially from an adult learner standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, we need things very succinct and clear and straight, and you do that.
Well, over at Rollins College, Rollins College here in Orlando, and they have the big campus in Winter Park. See, that's not a cheap school to go to. That's like, you got to have some duckies to roll up in that school. Okay?
I am very familiar. There's a eatery I used to love in Winter Park, and it was right across the street from Rollins College.
Okay, so Rollins ain't cheap, especially with Holt House over there. Okay, the Holt House, that ain't nothing but money. So when they asked me to help change the curriculum, I had to sit the professor down. I said, look, I'm not here for nobody's job. Trust me when I tell you I got enough work. Okay, I got more than I want right now. I said, but you gotta bring the messaging in a way that they understand the law that goes with these grants, and they understand what they can and cannot do with this money and how the processes work. Once you teach a student how processes work, oh man, they on their job. They good.
I love that you said, I hope we're recording because this is too good not to.
Well, it's being live streamed. It's not being recorded, but it is 6:01.
Listen,
so
all the same. I want to say this before we formally start. Someone was asking me, Miss Beverly, the other day, if they took your first master class, would there be a benefit to taking this one on businesses? If they took the first one on real estate, should they take this one on business? And, I talked to them about the things that you teach us. And that person went on to say, well, what are the guarantees? Am I going to be, that was what my face did. What are the guarantees? And my answer was, that while we're not giving guarantees, because that's up to the individual, right? Their dedication and commitment to the process, right? First of all, are they coming to the class? Are they taking the information that you're giving and applying it, right? But one of the things that you do that I wanted them to understand is that you are setting us up for success, right? You're telling us where to go, what to say, what pitfalls to avoid, right? Giving us all of those anecdotes from your 45 years of experience, right? You're setting us up to succeed. That to me is as good as if you took it and wrote it, because now I know what to do. I can write 15 of them, right? Because you set me up for success. You didn't just take the information and write one. Then I got to pay you to take the information for the next one and write that one. You've set us up to be successful. And that to me is value. And so, I'm glad you said that.
You can't make any guarantees, because see, the agencies control the money.
Right.
See, I can get you there, but it's up you. When you empower a student to have all the right tools, then for me, I've done my job. Okay. Once they have the right tools, then it's nothing else to be said.
Yeah. The guarantee is that they're going to come and learn something. That's the guarantee.
Yes, they got to come and learn something today.
Very good. Well, I see everybody's coming in. Cherie has got us going on live stream. Thank you guys for coming. This is the 10K Project. My name is Tawana Rivers. Talisha, would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Hello, I'm Talisha Shine.
Miss Cherie is joining us today.
hello, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. And y'all know this is one of my favorite topics with one of my favorite guests, Beverly. And then we have another guest coming on as well, who's also, like they're tied for two of the best guests ever. So Curtis Witt is coming back as well to talk about buying businesses. And tonight is going to definitely be action-packed. More importantly than that, tonight is a note taker. Sometimes we don't tell you to, you don't necessarily need to pull out your pen and pads, but I would encourage you to do that this evening. And if you missed something, don't worry about it. It's on YouTube. It'll be on our Knowledge Center in our Facebook group. So you can definitely go back and hear the replay. So everybody put your city and state in the chat. If you were on YouTube and Facebook, please give us a thumbs up and a like and a heart so that way the algorithms can bless us. Please share this information with anybody and everybody who is looking for a business grant. That is a very hot topic. Share this information. Tonight's session is totally free and available to anybody to watch, whether or not you are part of the 10K project. So, Tawana, I'm going to toss it back over to you.
Wonderful. So we are the 10K project for anyone that's new here. We're a wealth building community. The goal is simple here, right? We're a community of people who are looking at all the ways we can build wealth for our family. And we're teaching you how to do that by bringing amazing guests like Miss Beverly here and Curtis and all of the other amazing founders that are doing wonderful things within their specialty. And they're so gracious enough to share that information with us. They understand that as a community, we can't succeed unless each of us do our part. And so the giving of their time has been tremendously valuable for the 10K project community. Tonight, we're going to talk about the masterminds that we're offering. We've got two that are happening starting in February, and we wanted to talk about them so that you guys could decide if this was something you wanted to learn more about and attend. One of the things that you'll learn about the 10K project, for those of you who are new, those of you who have been around with us already know this, is we try to talk about all the things because we know that each of us are going to gravitate towards something different. And so the goal here is to expose you to so many opportunities for wealth building that you're bound to find one thing that you gravitate to and want to learn more about. And so tonight we'll be talking about business buying and then obtaining business grants or grants for businesses. If you have not yet joined to be a member, please join us at the10kproject.com. That is the10kproject.com. And we did something, I think it was pretty cool that we did. We actually dropped the price of membership. So during the holiday, we had a holiday special where we were charging $100 annually. And many of you reached out on the heels of that and wanted to join. And so we went ahead and extended it because there were quite a few people that were asking about it right as we were getting ready to take it down. And so we did extend the membership discount. It is $100 annually. If you're not sure that you want to be an annual member, we do have monthly membership at $30 a month, but you can do that math very easily. It makes more sense for you to be an annual member. For anyone who is already a member, if you could just take a minute and just drop in the chat one thing that you find value in as it relates to the 10K project. And in your opinion, is it worth $100 annually? Just for those people who are not yet members to be able to hear from you. Because obviously, if I tell them there's value, you're going to be like, of course, you're going to tell me it's value. It's your company, right? Mm-hmm. But if you tell them there's value, they're more inclined to believe you. And so with that said, I want to first introduce Miss Beverly Burgess, since Curtis is not here yet. Beverly is, we've got a presentation. Let me pull that up.
You want to pull it up? You want to talk about the Bob for tomorrow night before you introduce Ms. Beverly?
I'll do that later. I'll do that at the end.
All right.
At the end.
I can pull it up if you need me to. I have it up, actually.
Okay, you have it up already? Then perfect.
Okay. So everybody, yes, we are hosting our second masterclass with Ms. Beverly. She came in October, November timeframe to teach real estate. And if you want to learn how to get into affordable housing and get grants for affordable housing, that is currently in our Knowledge Center. You're able to purchase that masterclass. And then we also have mentoring sessions that are attached to that as well. But You can also join this masterclass that we have coming up, where Ms. Beverly is going to be teaching us live for another 6 weeks about getting grants for your businesses. This can be any type of business. If you are a tap dancer, if you are a nuclear physicist, if you are a restaurateur, anything like that, there are business grants that are available. Ms. Beverly is going to talk a little bit more about that today, but let's talk specifically about, first of all, she has 45 years of experience with helping people get government grants. She's worked on both sides with being a grant administrator as well as helping people get grants. So she is officially the grant guru. We're having basically a 6-week masterclass, which gives you kind of a 6-step roadmap to getting these grants. So the masterclass is starting on Wednesday, February 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to go 6 weeks. So it'll go through March 22nd. Each session is about 75 minutes. So Ms. Beverly teaches for like the first 45 minutes, and then we get to ask a lot of Q&A of her. And the replays are always available in the Knowledge Center. So if you can't attend live, don't worry about it. If you want to hear the session again and again, once you purchase these master classes, you get them for life. No additional charges because they will be in the Knowledge Center. So the 6 sessions that we're going to have, the first one will be around creating your grant strategy. Session number 2 is going to be how to research the grants. And Ms. Beverly actually takes you to the website, tells you what to type in, tells you what to look for as you're typing. So this is not just a cursory thing. We really go deep into that. Number 3 is preparing your company to receive grants. Session number 4 is going to be how to apply for the grants. We're going to actually review some of the applications and talk about what to put where and things like that. Session 5 is building your team. And session 6 may seem kind of boring, but this is how you become a serial grantee. It's compliance. You have to be compliant with the government and the other grant administrators in order to keep getting those grants. So we also have a couple of bonuses as well. You will get some checklists and templates as part of this. And more importantly, it'll probably be 11 months by that time of mentoring in a group. So as you start going out, looking for grants, applying, sometimes you have questions or you want to get clarifying information or something came up that you weren't expecting. Well, once a month, we get together with Ms. Beverly for live Q&A where she will answer all of your questions with regards to where you are in the process. So you have to be a member of the 10K project in order to participate. Membership is now, for the time being, $100 a year. So if you use a coupon code member100, if you are a new member, it'll slash that price from $300 down to $100. And then for anybody that wants to take the masterclass, that is $300. You go into the Knowledge Center and you'll see something that says purchase underneath the Business Grant Masterclass. You click that button. It's a simple stripe thing, very easy to do. We also have instructions of how to sign up. If you go to the10kproject.com/instructions, and Talisha is putting that into the chat box for you, so you're able to find the instructions. And then also the 1 year of mentoring, easily $200 an hour for Miss Beverly's time. That's another $2,400. So basically you got a $3,000 package for $400 if you are a new member, or $300 if you are a current member. So again, the10kproject.com/instructions for you to get the instructions of how to go into the Knowledge Center and purchase the masterclass. Now, let's turn it over to the master. Unless you have something else to say, Tawana.
I was just going to say to those who took the very first masterclass that Ms. Beverly hosted, our first mentoring session is this Thursday, the 2nd. So we're doing the first Thursday of every month. And so we're super excited about Thursday's conversation to those of us who took the first masterclass. If you take this masterclass, we will incorporate you into that group. You'll also get the invitation to join us the first Thursday of every month. Miss Beverly, without giving away all the juice, what you got for us tonight?
Well, while we've been on this little break and everything, I had an opportunity to sit down with Truist Bank, and I discovered, I was invited to another meeting, and they, apparently the Federal Reserve has raised the limit on what they can give out in CRA grants. So it went from $250,000 to $1 million.
Now break that down without giving away everything. What is a CRA grant?
The
What are you
CRA
talking
grant
about?
is the Community Reinvestment Act grant that was put on the books by President Obama after the first real estate fallout in 2008. Basically, he said, if I'm going to bail out the banks are going to bail out the community. And this money is earmarked and under congressional law to support nonprofits and for-profit business entities, because he didn't feel like it was fair for the banks to ask for their bailout. And then the people in the community were like, well, what about us? So that became a part of Truist's structure. I was invited by the CEO to look at the structure of how they're breaking this money down. They can give it out quarterly. They can give it out one time, one payment, it goes out. But this is something that had to come from the Federal Reserve. So I had the opportunity to look at how the Federal Reserve is set up and how they are authorizing banks to get more, engaged with businesses in the community. Because see, when they do business in your community, that's more money for the bank. And so the Federal Reserve is like, okay, they even authorize them as to how much money they can have in the bank. Okay. So with that being said, the Federal Reserve is not taking a position with the banks that you have to actively be involved with the community. You can't sit and wait for somebody to come through the door and say, I need this. So now I'm having the great opportunity to work with the community engagement officer. This person actually has to go into the community, especially Black-owned businesses. They want the Black dollar. And trust me when I tell you, Truist makes that very clear.
Okay.
Because it's going to give them an edge. And, now Bank of America is coming over and say, hey, can we work with you, Miss Beverly? We got $17,500 to give away for new homes. People buying a home, and there is no credit check from Bank of America. So when I go in to sit with these CEOs, I'm vetting them through my own process because I know what to look for. And I'm like, okay, what are you going to give Talisha for her new home? $17,500. No credit check. I said, I want to see it in black and white. They gave it to me. Okay. Then Talisha can get $45,000 in down payment assistance. You pay it back over 10 years. Okay. Well, she right at what? About 60, 70 grand.
Yeah.
So what's the catch? Because somebody's going to say
there is no catch because we are facing a massive housing crisis. And because I've been on my little stoop sounding my bullhorn, letting them know that I told y'all about this 20 years ago, and now you're back at my office saying, we need your help. So I got the invitation from Dallas. I got the invitation from Little Rock, Arkansas. I will be in Miami next week. And it's a problem. And collectively, what they're discovering is we have to come together and fix it. There's no getting away from this. We've got people sleeping in tents under I-4 in Orlando.
Yeah, all over the country.
It's all over the country, and it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So this is not something where you can just do this and say, I don't want to see it. No, you got to deal with this because we're all taxpayers and it's your dollar they're spending.
So let's go back to the CRA, the Community Reinvestment Act. Can any business get this money?
Any business can apply for it.
Any business can apply for it anywhere in the country?
In the country. That's why
Wow.
Obama put it on the books, because when that first real estate fallout happened, it was massive loans that were no good. People were getting money that they really did not qualify for. So when we see this economic recession downturn we're in again, and you've got big real estate people like the Oppenheimer group coming on TV saying, get ready, the fallout's coming again, you're going to see homes coming back to the banks left and right. And the banks are already positioning. Truist Bank has taken a position. They have a dedicated team to try to help the homeowner stay in the house. That's number one. Or if they take the house back, they're going to take a loss. And no bank is prepared to take a loss, because Truist Bank, SunTrust just merged with BB&T. So they're now trying to prepare themselves. Well, how many more mergers are we going to see in about 3 to 6 months? They are predicting the massive fallout to hit in real estate within 3 to 6 months. Yes, you can take advantage of some great deals investment wise, but you got to know what you're getting into, because see, the bank's position is, if I sell this house to Miss Tawana at a discount, she got to take it as is, no question asked. And then you got to be prepared and have the money and the resources that if anything is wrong with that house, you got to be able to fix it. So then I started digging into the 203K program. You know, that money's just sitting over there, just piling up. And I just
Giving them too much.
Yeah,
Beverly.
no. So what we're going to do within the masterclass, everybody, I'm sorry, I'm trying to spread the word to a couple more groups that I know wants this information. What we want to do is Miss Beverly is actually going to break down like where the money is, how to find the money within the banks. And she's already given us a preview before this, so I kind of know what she's going to say. Who to talk to, so that you know who to talk to, what to say when you get in front of that person, what information you need to give them so that they'll say, oh, Talisha's serious about this. We're going to put her application to the top of the pile, right? How to get the money, and then how to actually be compliant so that next year and the following year, they're like, you need more money? Because they want to look good. They want to look good in the community. They want to look good in the press,
Yes.
you know, and these are great opportunities. Now, let's say that somebody wants to do something within the community with regards to like job fairs or economic development or things like that, because so many people are interested in that, but it's their business, you know, to do that, or they want it to be their business. Are there
Economic
things that they're able to do?
development and disadvantaged services come under HUD. They come under the Department of Labor, Employment and Training. So two agencies would come together and fund that. That's what would happen. Two agencies would come together on that.
So we're going to talk about that as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
What other, because you said that there's been some additional information that you found out. What other information can you tell people kind of as a preview to the masterclass?
Well, you know, the CRA definitely, the Federal Reserve stepped up their game on the CRA. I was blown away. I said, you giving out how much? And they said, yeah, we giving out $1 million. I said, oh, where's my application? I mean, they took me to the little room and said, here you go. We want to do business with Black communities. I mean, it is paramount because the Black dollar has a lot of spending power. Okay, the 203K and the 203 home repair program, I've been digging into over 700 pages of that, found out some little nuggets about how to help you repair your home. And then even though we know it's a loan, after you make those initial payments for 6 months to a year, the HUD 203 program has the power to come in and forgive the entire loan. And so I kind of looked at that program and said, well, you're not giving out enough money. And they said, Beverly, how much? I said, well, you need to give out $500,000 because there's no home for that price. Okay. So you got to start thinking that if you want people to take these homes off your hand and pay property taxes and be a benefit to the community and keep the community beautified, well, you got to give out some money that's ranging anywhere from 200,000 to 2 million. Okay. So they took that under consideration and said that was no one had ever spoken so truthfully the way I did. Okay. I have been looking into working very closely lately with Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola gives out a lot of money overseas. Corporations are now stepping up and saying, hey, we would like to partner with you. We see what you're doing in the community. We like how you're helping nonprofits and for-profit businesses. We would like to partner with you. And I said, well, what's in it for me? And they said, what do you want? I said, I want you to support more Black businesses. I want you to give out more grants. I want my name on one of those grants. Okay, so let's be clear about that. And I want to see anything that if you're going to support a Black business that needs startup money. And I said, y'all make, you know how much money y'all make a day? And they said, yeah, we know. I said, well, I'd like to see you give out a startup grant for $250,000. Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna hurt you. You ain't gonna do nothing but write it off. And I'd like to see 10 of those grants go out from this region, meaning Florida. So now I'm in negotiations with the vice president to tap into every region.
Fantastic. Y'all.
Wow.
the10kproject.com/instructions if you need to know how to participate, or if you already know, you can log into the Knowledge Center and purchase the business grant masterclass. We're going to go through these things. Miss Beverly is going to go into details because somebody here named Ryan is asking about any banks that are more engaged than others. That is in the masterclass.
In the masterclass, Ryan,
you're gonna have to come.
That information.
You have to come to the masterclass. Miss Beverly in the first masterclass, she kind of hinted at it and she said, this is how you could tell the better ones to go to. But in this time, we're going to actually have expanded conversations with regards to that. So it's worthwhile to come to the masterclass, Ryan.
And you know what I did for you, Cherie?
What you do?
I went to the person that controls that CRA money for Truist Bank. I got his card in the application. All
right now.
I'm not playing.
No.
It's go get it time, baby.
We better.
You know, last time on this masterclass, Miss Tawana just threw her little pen up in the air.
Yes, she's throwing it. She's virtually throwing it in the air again. There are 60 people on this platform right here, plus all the people in YouTube and Facebook. Y'all hit the like button and the heart button, please, so the algorithms can push this out. But we as Black people always talk about the fact that our businesses are undercapitalized. Part of the reason is we don't know where to go outside of going to ask for a loan. Miss Beverly is giving you options outside of that are law, that if you know the law and you know who to go to and what to say and what paperwork to bring, she can't guarantee it, but you would have an infinitely better shot than if you wing it.
I was so well received at Truist Bank. They said, we want to work with you. We want to work with you. I said, well, you know, my first commitment is to God, then family, and then Miss Tawana over here, you know, the world traveler. And I said, I love the 10K project. I said, but you know, basically the corporations and people I've been meeting with, I basically set them down and said, you got to do better by us. Okay, you got to do better. You want us to spend our money with you, you've got to invest in us, okay? And I said, I'm not talking loans, I'm talking grants. You can take this money from your company, like I told Coca-Cola, put it in the form of a grant, give it out 10 times a year, that's $2.5 million, however you want to add it up. You want to throw a little extra in there, that's fine with me. I said, but I'm not just talking about what we spend in Coca-Cola products per month or per week. I'm talking about what I want to see you do either monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Don't make a difference to me. I say I can bring Miss Tawana into it. We can negotiate that. I say, but you have the money to change lives. Okay. Then, he said, well, the only parameter I would have is that they will have to advertise or sell Coca-Cola products. I said, somebody give me $250. I ain't got no problem with it.
I'm gonna drink a Coke on camera every day. Okay.
I'll be your
Done
new
is done.
spokesperson.
Yeah, I said, look, I'm ready to. I went in there and got suited and booted, put on my little outfit. I said, come on, let's make this commercial. So in about 2 weeks, you will see me in a Coca-Cola commercial.
Now I want to, Tawana and I haven't talked about this, but I think, Tawana, we need to do a special outreach to the Bob founders. This is something that they're raising money that they should be able to leverage.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're able to do a special outreach to any founder, that's doing a Bet on Black pitch. 2 questions, and then we're going to bring Curtis on here. So SC is specifically asking about being a physician, going 1099 contractor. She's a single member PLLC. She wants to know if there are any grants available for her.
She's a physician?
Yes.
Physician,
That
yes.
is the NIH grants. That's the National Institute for Grants. All of those medical grants, they're just millions just sitting on the table. Millions. Millions for equipment, millions for special programs in rural communities. Millions, like if you open a clinic, they will fund it. Advent Health here has a special program that if you open a clinic in a rural community, they will financially back it, and get behind you until the clinic gets up and running and on its feet and help you with the equipment costs and all of that. There's just, I can't even, I saw one NIH grant just to go into the Appalachian Mountains here, up here in North Florida and all that, and open up a clinic. NIH has a grant on the table right now for $89.7 million.
Right, EC.
You got your answer.
Sounds like she answered your question, dear.
So my suggestion is come to the class, EC, and that way when we go over how to research these grants, that's session 2, we actually go through, all of those websites where like, this is what you put in, you're able to do it on your computer at the same time, ask your questions, and then you can also be a part of the mentoring session. So as new grants come up, once a month, we get together with Miss Beverly and you can say, hey, I think this is coming through. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing, et cetera. This is an invaluable opportunity for anybody who has a business. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, does it work for trucking companies? Does it work for marketing companies?
Yeah.
Yes, and yes. My final question here is going to be from Stasia, who is going back, I hope I'm saying your name right, to the houses, saying, I thought major companies and foreign and domestic buyers were currently buying up houses in lots because rents are going up. Won't this help stabilize the housing market? So because you were talking about housing before, like,
yes,
why, I guess the question would be with all of the foreign investors and the big private equity companies, why would these banks still want to help everyday people like
actually,
us?
the banks are beginning to pull back a little bit on that because they see how they're gentrifying communities, okay? So once again, we come back to nobody knows your community better than you, especially in Black communities. So like you and Mr. Wanda and Talisha have the 10K. Okay, you could set up a consortium or a CDC under HUD guidelines and regulations, where not only do you do the home buyer classes, but the HUD would come in and say, hey, we would like to fund your little thing you got going over here. We'll give you $250 million. And you go build some affordable housing and continue to teach home buyer classes. Now, home buyer classes got to happen at least 4 to 6 times a year. Okay, you can schedule all that out. But the money is sitting there. And then the HUD would come back and say, okay, well, you did such a great job with this under the CDC, which is the Community Development Corporation. And it can be for profit or nonprofit. It's at your discretion. Okay. How about if you set up a CDC strictly for veterans? There is such a thing called HUD-VASH. And that was where HUD and the VA come together, okay? HUD and the VA will fund that for 10 generations because the veteran population, especially in Florida, has tripled, okay? And there is no veteran housing. I mean, we were just in a county meeting on this. There is no housing for veterans and their families. And they basically said to me, if we could find a few people, Miss Beverly, like you, that will take on the veteran housing, money is not a problem. Now, the VA is the only agency that I know of that still cuts a hard copy check, but they'll write it and they'll drop it in the mail to you with all the paperwork.
Wow.
All right.
Well, Miss Beverly, stick around.
Okay.
We want to introduce Curtis. Hello, Curtis.
Hello,
Hello,
Mr. Witt.
Hello, how are you guys this evening?
Doing well, thank you. So Curtis actually buys businesses and he teaches us how to buy businesses. The 10K Project has had a couple of classes with Curtis where he has taught us to write businesses. Tawana and Talisha and Dr. Keisha and others have actually purchased businesses through the teachings that Curtis has taught us. And Tawana, why don't you do a better job of introducing Curtis and letting people know what is happening with that masterclass?
So as Cherie said, Curtis has been so gracious to come to the 10K Project and share his knowledge of buying businesses. And he is teaching us how to do that. Both Talisha and myself have a business called OEO Holdings. It's a micro private equity firm where we are buying businesses under Curtis's mentorship. And I will say it has been life-changing. I always say when you come to the 10K Project, we're trying to show you all of the things and you decide what thing you gravitate to. Well, Curtis was able to teach me my thing. And so as a student of the 10K Project, not just a founder of the 10K Project, I now have passion for buying businesses as a result of learning it. And I believe that there are many of you out there that will as well. And so we wanted to be able to bring you another opportunity to enroll in Curtis's masterclass. Because it's wonderful information that you're learning. He's teaching you about innovation and he's really helping you think about business differently. And I'll let him speak more about what it includes. I know we have the information. Talisha's been putting it in the chat as well with the various links. So thank you very much, T-Shine, for that. And I don't know, Talisha, if you want to add anything also, having gone through the class, do you want to add anything about the value?
I think it's an ongoing aspect. You can see, we have, I think all of us have some rudimentary understanding of being in business and what that means. But then you get a nuanced perspective of what it means to buy a business, because many times you don't even know that that's possible. I know I have an MBA, and when I first started taking the class, I was like, nowhere in my curriculum did I ever hear that I could buy one. I knew all about amortization and depreciation and coming up with deal structure, but never was it ever like, okay, buy something that already exists and how to do that appropriately. So just as Miss Beverly said, you have to know where to go and what to do. It's really about this, about what to do and how to do it. And I think that's what you get from these master classes.
So Curtis, with that, we'll turn it over to you, right? Because we can only big up you so much. You got to do the rest yourself.
So first of all, thank you, ladies. Thank you, leadership of 10K. I want to apologize for being late. Hopefully, Tawana at least told you where I was. And I want to apologize.
I wasn't telling all your business. He was at the bank getting ready to close a deal.
Yes, we were. I want to apologize to my fellow speaker, Miss Beverly. It sounds like I missed the first part, but sounds like you were on fire. So I want to say that. And again, apologize to the leadership. Try never to be late, but no excuse. I should have got there and I should have been camping there this morning.
No, don't even apologize. We're glad to have you here now.
So this is probably one of the proudest moments of the 5 year or so that I've been doing this. And the reason why I'm so proud is because the two master students, the two leading students, and when I talk about leading, I'm not just talking about, doing the work and putting in, because some people do the work, some people don't. That's okay. But the skill that is most important in our business is the ability to talk to people and raise capital. And you don't really have to talk to people, but you certainly have to raise capital. And the two, what I call the dynamic dual TNT, have done a fantastic job of truly raising capital and taking everybody's game to the next level, to the point where we're able to buy things that we didn't think we were going to be able to buy, quite honestly. And so them as the leaders in being able to help all of us see what is possible, see what we can all do, has been very refreshing for me. I have, as Talisha said, it's refinement and it's nuances. And every deal you learn something new, or every deal you have a different deal structure, and every deal you're dealing with different personalities. And so what would you learn in this masterclass? Well, because the masterclass, as Talisha said, is evolving and it continues to evolve, one of the things that is most important is the ability to raise capital. And so with this class, we'll emphasize the ability to raise capital. So let's just talk really quickly about all the landscape. Here's what the landscape is. Everybody's talking about how to buy a business, how to do this, how to do that. We'll give that away for free, because that's not the most valuable thing, quite honestly. You can go on to Chat GPT right now and say how to buy a business, and it'll tell you how to buy a business. What it won't tell you is, when you get in that business, what the heck are you going to do? It won't tell you how to structure the deal. It won't tell you how to deal with the brokers. It won't tell you, how do I get around proof of funds if I'm trying to buy a $300,000 business, the broker is asking me for proof of funds, and I have approximately $100 in my bank account. What do I do? How do I handle that? How do I handle where the owner says, I'm not taking nothing back. I don't want no equity. I don't want no seller finance. I want straight cash. How do I handle that? How do you find the business? How do you negotiate with the buyer and the seller and the broker? How do you can't just go, I'm not going to give any money down, because the broker has to get paid, and they certainly want to get paid. So how do you handle that situation? How do you then go through due diligence, both the financial due diligence and the operational due diligence? How do you do all of that? How do you then structure and go past that with a creative way of doing things? Those are some of the things that you learn in the class, amongst other things. But the most important thing is the ability to actually do it hands-on, meaning in the class, we actually buy a business. One of the nuances that we will change is who will run that business, because old Curdy Kirk has been trying to run all the businesses, and it just has not been as fruitful for everyone. Is everyone participates. So in these upcoming classes, everyone will participate in actually running the business. So everyone participates in buying the business. Now everyone will participate in actually running the business, such that once you finish with that, you can then go on to scale all of your knowledge into other businesses. So you have the ability and the blueprint to not only buy the business, but you can go and consult with people. You can go and coach. All of those are from the foundational pieces of how to buy a business. When you have that foundation, then you can do other things that act as a blueprint to helping people scale their business, helping people create a win-win atmosphere and a leadership atmosphere and a more efficient organization through coaching that business. So you have several different things that you can do by taking this particular class. So if I really only had $10 or $20 or $1,000 in my bank account, and I said I wanted to take this particular class, what I would do is, instead of necessarily, I would learn it, and then I would immediately go and help the local businesses in my area, because now you know and have a blueprint to coach them. And now you have a blueprint for consulting that will allow you to make money while you're doing other things. And so that's a big deal, because others don't teach you. They say, here's your business, here's how to do it, watch these videos, and you're off on your own. We not only support you, but we give you other ways that you can generate income.
I have a question about that then.
Yes.
Do you have to be licensed to consult other business owners on buying businesses? Is there a
You have
license
to be-
required?
No, there isn't.
I want to be sure.
You can consult. Now, there is a license if you're trying to be a broker in certain states. So if you're in Florida, for example, you have to have a real estate license to be a broker, to buy and sell businesses. But if you're in Texas, you just need the knowledge, right? And so as a consultant, what you really need is the knowledge. And we have this, again, evolution. We have this matrix that's a 8 by 4, which is a SWOT matrix by strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, by the 8 R's. And we use that matrix to then evaluate a business, something new. Alicia and Tawana, something new that you guys haven't seen, but it is a 8 by 4 matrix that we use to evaluate the business. You can use that not only to evaluate the business, but to evaluate a target for someone else. So if you're helping another company expand and grow, you can use that blueprint and that matrix as a target to help them expand and grow.
So tell us, out of curiosity, about maybe one success story that you've had, one business that you've bought, the industry that it was in, a little bit of the story behind that.
Certainly. So initially, we started in the industry of personal care. Personal care meaning whatever makes you feel good, look good, and just set your hair on fire. So that's your nails and your hair and your massage therapy, et cetera, et cetera. And then we discovered that within that niche, the massage therapy business was actually coded a little higher. And so we started buying massage therapy places. And
what do you mean coded higher?
Coded higher, the code for a massage therapy, the industry code, dictates a lot around the multiple or the value of the company.
Okay.
And so we were valuing the company as a personal care company, meaning massage therapy versus a hair salon. Whereas the hair salon may have a 2 code or 2.0 or 2X, the massage therapy has a 3.5, which increased the valuation tremendously. But the issue is that the market has not caught up with that. And so we have been looking at arbitraging that rate, right? Where we buy something really, really low and its value is really much higher. So our last acquisition was called a place called Transform Wellness. And that place has acted as the education center for all of our other places. We also bought a CBD place. And so when you look at it, you can go, okay, wellness is all about helping you feel better, look better, and enjoy more life, right? And the notion of CBD helps you do that. And so it was a natural marriage between wellness and massage therapy and CBD. But I want to go back to Transform, because Transform was a huge win for us because it allowed us to now have a practitioner who is a master practitioner. In fact, she was up here this weekend doing for Valley, one of our other purchases, one of our other class purchases. She was doing for Valley Massage and Spa, helping us interview people, helping us. She got a massage from them. And so having Heidi on our team, now we have literally a national director. We started a different organization that has an institute as part of it. We were able to now really go, okay, we have the ODX piece. It's almost like playing Monopoly, these pieces that you're picking up all around the Monopoly board. We have the manufacturing and distribution part of a CBD shop. We have the education part where practitioners can come in and get CEUs, right? And be able to really understand modalities. So for example, one great modality is the ability to help physical therapists and be a partner with physical therapists as people are trying to go through their rehab. And what we are doing on our side is being able to provide what we would say is cryogenics as well as infrared, quite honestly, infrared therapy. And we do that really inexpensively, but the clients are absolutely ecstatic about it. How does that translate? Well, that translates into, that's the highest form of therapy as it relates to massage therapy. And those types of sessions cost roughly about $300 a session. And they're being taken care of by the insurance in terms of HSAs.
I was going to ask about that. If the insurance takes care of it, then that's even better.
It's even better. And so now you have that. Heidi and team is doing that and have a little therapeutic organization down in Tucson. That's great. Mm-hmm. But now we have all of our other massage therapists coming in to learn that modality. And then they go back out, and over time we increase the revenue of all of our of the businesses,
individual businesses. Yeah,
exactly.
What I really like about what you said, and then I'll turn it over to Tawana, is that a lot of times when we're starting a business or when we're doing these things in business, we're doing them by ourselves. And what you've built is a network where all of you are sharing information, and you're not competitive with each other geographically, but you're sharing so much information that all of a sudden everyone's valuation gets to go up because you have this cooperative knowledge bank that you've built.
Right.
And not just with you, but with the other students that you've had. So, Tawana, I'll definitely toss it over to you. I just think that that's a very phenomenal thing that you and Talisha and all the other students have built along with Curtis and Robin.
Yeah, and let me just say something about that really, really quickly. Mm-hmm. I look at it from the standpoint of almost, we're in the age, I mentioned chat, GPT, mm-hmm. We're in the age of artificial intelligence and really machine learning. And from that perspective, we are mimicking the machines that we built in terms of this. We are able to take one piece of knowledge, make an adjustment, learn from it, make another adjustment, learn from it, make another adjustment. And where we were a year and a half ago is not where we are right now. And that's mm-hmm. the truth. And that's because of the collective knowledge. Someone learned something, they bring it back, and then we make an adjustment. Someone learns something else, they bring it back, and we make an adjustment. So the machines that we are teaching, we are actually acting as. So, Tawana?
Yeah, I mean, you actually said it. I mean, this is not, what you learn today is not what you implement, 3 weeks from now, because 3 weeks from now, we would have learned 5 more things since, since today happened. And that's the beauty. I think that's what I love about it, is that there is this ongoing process of growth, and you're right in the midst of it. And it's not growth because there's disorganization. It's because the industry evolves as we're doing this, right? We're learning new things. And even with the different industries that we've tackled, there's so much more to tap into in those industries, right? We've kind of evolved to do other things because the vision expands, but doesn't mean we still won't buy a barbershop maybe one day, right? If the deal looks good, we absolutely will, right? We're looking at something, the current deal that those of you who are our clients at OEO Holdings know about already is completely different than what Curtis just talked about. But the numbers make sense. And when the numbers make sense, you can't deny that, right? And so this is really about building wealth, right? The 10K Project's mission, it's what Curtis is doing is his mission. It's the mission that Talisha and I have in our private equity firm. The mission is clear. We understand the assignment. We have to be able to allow our people to have access to the things that build wealth, right? And so all of these things are connected. Miss Beverly getting grants, right? Teaching us how to get real estate grants in the first masterclass. She's going to teach us how to get business grants in this masterclass. We've also already signed an agreement with Miss Beverly. She's going to help us with cannabis industry in her next masterclass. Then she's going to help us with land purchases in her next masterclass. This is all about building wealth for this community. It's all connected. It may seem like, well, you were talking about vending machines one day and you were talking about storage facilities another day. Exactly. We absolutely were. And that's because there is wealth to be found in all of these things. And we know that this community deserves to be given all of the information. So we get to decide what we have a passion for and how we're going to build wealth in our families, right? Your children may be excited about one thing. You may be excited about something else. Your spouse may be excited about something else. It's possible for 5 businesses to exist in a household, right? And that's what we're trying to deliver to you, is that knowledge that allows you to learn about them, to implement them, and then hook you up with Miss Beverly so you get the funding for them, right?
And also, you need to diversify your wealth building portfolio anyway. That is what the wealthy do. They'll have some things in private equity or private investments. That's our bet on black pitches. They'll have some things that are cash flowing, which is, about the affordable housing and the buying businesses. Some things you want to cash flow, some things you want to appreciate, but you want to have a diversified wealth building portfolio. Some of you need family banks and family investment clubs. When you join the 10K Project, that is a part of the membership, learning about how to start a family investment club. There's just so much that we have. So if you're not a member, the10kproject.com, we still have our $100 annual membership special. So you can go to the website and put in the promo code and get in for $100. Talisha, you've been monitoring the questions. I'm sorry, Curtis, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say one other thing, because I think this one is really important. In our community, we are not very well represented in the private equity realm. I mean, there's a few of us, that are really high up there, and then there aren't. We have started 31 micro private equity firms. And that's a huge, big deal, that people can say they have a micro private equity firm in which they are buying businesses. They can buy them whole or part. They can raise capital for the business. They can, raise capital with their colleagues. We've come together and raised almost $1 million of capital through these groups without any bank, without just literally leveraging friends, family, and peers and associates. That is a proud moment that we all should be proud about. And that's the types of things that you learn in the class.
Felicia, do we have any special questions that people are asking?
I have a few. I just put in the updated, I think there's something truncated there with the
I think we just had the S missing off of instruction.
It's there. So if you want to grab it right now, it's there for you. You can try it there. And let's see, there are a few questions with regard to, I think someone wanted to know the multiple that you said, Curtis, about the personal care versus the health and wellness space.
Right.
That was a question there.
So really quickly, the reason why that multiple is different is in the health and wellness, it's considered in the health and wellness, it's considered on the health side versus considered on the cosmetic side in terms of, makeup, hair, etc., nails. And so when you're on the health side, you have a different, they classify it as different because you have a lot more professionals who have gone to school X amount of years, blah, blah, blah. And so it was initially, we classified it as one thing, and we found out that it was classified as something else. A pleasant surprise, I should add. So, but that multiple, most brick and mortars are 2, unless you have absentee owners and some other circumstances. This multiple, it starts at a 3.5.
So I have a question for Ms. Beverly. I see Anonymous asked a question. Ms. Beverly, are there grants to purchase existing businesses? So we've kind of talked about if you have a business, there are grants there to facilitate that depending on what the industry or the area is of your business. But what if someone wanted to buy a business? I would imagine if they wanted to do that in a neighborhood that needed some economic enhancements, that there should be something out there they could use, right?
Yes, those grants would come from economic development and diversity. It would come from HUD. It would come from HUD Bash. It would come from the Department of Labor, Employment and Training. It would come from NIH and Department of Education.
Sounds like it's coming from a whole lot of places.
Yeah, so there is money. Like, let's say I found an apartment complex over in Sanford, Florida, been boarded up for like 20 years. The last person that owned it, the manager took $8 million and left the country. And it was controlled by HUD. So I went to HUD and said, okay, if I take on this little problem you got over here, how much money are you going to give me? Because I can go in and do the real estate assessment. I can bring a real estate broker into it. I can say, I am keywords that, because I've mastered their language. So I said, okay, keep in mind, guys, I'm doing this for the community and you're going to look good. And there's going to be a lot of celebration and there's going to be a lot of money in your bank. So when I use the keyword community, they sit up and pay attention. Okay. I said, now, this thing has been boarded up for 20 years and it's not above sea level. We got to raise it another 6,000 feet to get it above sea level. This is going to cost a lot of money for infrastructure, construction crews, raising it above sea level. This is why I'm going to school to get my real estate license, by the way. And we got to get these things done. And, they were lowballing me at $20 million. I said, come on, guys, I come in the door at 7 million. Okay. So if you're going to lowball me at 20, I know it's going to take about 120 to clean up this mess. And I said, I won't do it for less. If I were to take on this project and clean up your mess, I need $350 million. They told me, get you a crew together and we'll write a check.
Wow.
So there is money because that apartment complex, when I went to them with what I'm proposing, and I'm bringing a CDC into it, this was an existing business. It was a for-profit business. Okay. So I'm a shark when it comes to negotiations. I said, look, just keep writing zeros till I'm content. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And so they were like, Beverly. And I was like, oh, come on. It ain't like you ain't got it. And so they said they wanted to see more veteran housing. And this is up in Sanford, Florida, in Seminole County. So I have to go over there and play nice with the city and county commissioners. I have to get letters of references. I know the drill. I'm in politics. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? We need to do this. They are getting more on board with this because that apartment complex is what, ladies and gentlemen? It is an eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
There is no value. And I said, we could put some shops over here, girlfriend need a perm, hook us up, And I said, we could put shops and barber shops and coffee shops and laundromats. You can make this into a real community again. I said, let's see what we can salvage because it's been boarded up for 20 years. If not, we're going to knock it to the ground. So then I slide on over to Winter Park, Florida, your stumping ground, Tawana. And I go in and have a conversation with a developer. He's like, Beverly, you negotiated the deal. I said, look, $350 million on the table. What are we going to do? Because I need some plans. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now y'all work that out.
Beverly is the real one. You hear me? The real one. She don't play.
But see, when you see things boarded up and you start digging and you start asking questions, it shows the financial community, especially government entities, we don't want it. We just want it off the books. So why not give them, Beverly's building this little team around. So what I did was I built a team around me of experts that are going to come in and take that $350 million. They're going to show me how to invest it. And then I'm going to come over to 10K and say, how do I invest this money? Then they're going to show me I can live out of the interest, never touching the principal. They're going to show me how to do this, however we lay this out in phases. We're going to let the city and the county pay for the infrastructure, which won't raise taxes. And you know what? At the end of the day, when you break this down in phases, everybody is happy. Why? Because we just provided affordable housing. Wow. So there is money. Doctor's offices. I mean, NIH covers the medical field. There is money for, there's an old theater. This lady wants to open up a roller skate rink. There's an old theater and roller skate rink closed down. And she said, can I really buy this? I said, yeah, we can buy it.
I'm thinking grocery stores as well.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of food deserts and yeah.
No black. And I am the marijuana queen. I know how to go get that money for the marijuana. I ain't playing.
Just remember, it's not federally legal yet.
Listen, when we have the cannabis, Ericka doesn't get to talk about cannabis. She's the conservative up here. She doesn't get to talk about that.
No.
I tell us all about cannabis.
I agree with the investing in it, but not the consuming. So
yeah, but it showed me how in the state of Florida, when it became legalized, this guy bought a shop 1 year and made $8 to $10 million the next year. He paid for the shop in 1 year. Wow. Boom.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in it. Definitely.
I mean, he had people working 24/7, brownies, gummy bears, whatever you wanted, he had it. Okay. So agriculturally, that money comes from the Department of Agriculture. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, okay, well, we don't legalize it. Let's go and everybody get their money. So anything that's been closed or sitting vacant, look into it. You ain't got nothing to lose by doing a little elbow grease. And I was just shocked. These buildings, and what was so sad, Ms. Tawana, this is 820 units that's been boarded up for 20 years.
Wow,
that's huge.
And we just talked about the homeless population and living under I-4 and all of that, and that's 820. Wow, yeah. 820 families could have housing if one of us believe in ourselves enough to think big enough to tackle this.
And I just started asking questions. I just started gaining support. I will be having a conversation with Curtis and Tawana on investments and stuff like this. But now what has gained so much momentum is now private investors want to give me money because I wasn't afraid to go ask some questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these apartments went up to 4-bedroom, 3 baths. And they just been boarded up, sitting vacant.
Put a family in there.
You know, you start breaking these units down, and the developer said what he could do, and he's very excited. You know why? Because it's going to give so many families an opportunity to get off the street. Right now in Orange County, Orlando, Florida, Mickey Mouse Town, where I live, there is no housing, none. We don't even know where we're going to put, all the shelters are full. They can't build, they basically said in the county meeting, which I go to, the city and the county meetings, you want to find out something? Go to your city and county meetings, ladies and gentlemen. They can't build shelters fast enough.
So can I make 2 comments? The first is that there's also a lot of people who have commercial offices that are going to be converting them into residential offices. So as you all are looking, it's residential housing. Because of the pandemic, a lot of people now working from home. There's not as much need for commercial offices. So there's been a lot of articles written and people in the industry talking about this. The second thing I want you all to think about, since Curtis has talked a little bit about healthcare, urgent cares.
Yeah.
Urgent cares are the new emergency rooms. They're trying to get people to stop going to the emergency room, especially in impoverished and working class neighborhoods, and start sending them to urgent care. The interesting thing is you could have a physician assistant run the urgent care, and you get, I think, 3 times as much as if they go to a doctor's office. And a lot of people in impoverished neighborhoods and working class neighborhoods will go to an urgent care first. So do your research about the urgent cares, but you don't have to have, from all the readings I've done, a license. You just need to put the physician assistant or the nurse practitioner in there to run your urgent care. So, because I'm trying to think of, in the community, what are the businesses that we actually need? The grocery stores run on a thin margin, I won't lie to you. But our communities need grocery stores as well. There are a lot of food deserts where people can't get fresh fruits and vegetables. And, you know, I would love to see us be able to do something about that.
There's a big push right now for clinics in rural, like really country communities. There is that grant I saw on the table from NIH for $89.7 million. They were like, Beverly, do you know anybody that will set up a clinic in a rural community? And they actually told me where to go on grants.gov and pull the grant.
I actually do know somebody.
Yeah,
I'm going to put you together
said,
with him.
I'm not in medical, but I can ask. And I'm looking at the grant on my desk because, like you said, there's a big push for urgent care, clinic care in rural communities, grocery stores. There is so much money, and everybody passed by this eyesore, Miss Tawana, for 20 years. For 20 years, they was like, oh, it's not worth it. And I just went out there and took a few pictures, wrote down the address, called the number on the board, and the guy answered all my questions. And he said, anytime you see an apartment community, and this is where everybody made their mistake, Mr. Curtis, guess where the property is sitting? In a HUD opportunity zone.
Wow.
So it's already federally funded. The money came down January 1. Basically, the money's just been sitting at the state level in a pot, just gathering interest. And nobody ever thought to go ask the state of Florida, where's the money? And they said, well, the money's been sitting up at the Capitol.
Amazing.
Yeah. Guys, this is an amazing session. We did not expect anything less than amazing from these 2 people. But I'm going to say this, we had asked when we started at the top of the hour for people to put just the value they found in the 10K project. And I'm reading some of these comments, and it's hard to contain my emotions because some of the things you guys are saying is that they're so beautiful. First of all, thank you very much. Cherie, Talisha, and we actually started this business with two more people, Dr. Keisha and Eric, for those of you who were around at the very, very beginning. And the mission hasn't changed, right? The faces have changed a little bit. And we all know that Cherie has stepped down and will be working on an amazing project that she's getting ready to start. She's so gracious to kind of finish out with us here at the 10K Project. I'm stepping up as CEO, and Talisha and my son have joined me to help continue this mission. And to see the comments that you're putting in, Patrice just says, if you're not a member, join. She's a recent member. She says, since joining, she started a family bank. She made her first investment in one of our Bet on Black pitch companies, Creeby Coffee. She invested in Talisha and I's business as well. And to have someone come and be a new member is special, right? It's absolutely special for someone to come, see value in you, feel like you are trustworthy enough for them to invest their money with you and their time. It is absolutely wonderful. And for the members who have been riding with us through all the changes, right? We were going to be a portal, right? Then we were deciding we were just going to be an education center and bring you deal flow. For those of you who have been with us from the beginning, you make this mission so easy to do. You make the long hours easy to work. You make all of this possible because of how much you believe in us. And know that when I say this, we are here because we believe that as a people, we can build wealth. We see enough examples of this that there is no reason we can't have it too. And we could easily take this journey and learn all of these things on our own, but where's the fun in that, right? Where's the fun in doing this by yourself? This is about community. It's about all of us winning. If we don't all win, then the win doesn't even mean anything to me personally. And so everything we learn, we're bringing right back here to you. Every amazing founder that's doing something so spectacular in an industry we believe you're going to love learning about, we're bringing them to you. That's the mission and commitment we have to 10K Project. And thank you to all of you who have received what we're trying to give with the love that we're trying to share it. This is not a profitable business, right? We trust and believe. Cherie and I ain't got no Lambos, right? This was
we're looking for something.
This was not about that, and it hasn't been about that, right? This has been about building this community and growing wealth for all of us. And I can tell you, I am the biggest student of the 10K Project. And I know there are a lot of you like me in here that every time we teach something, you absorb it and soak it up and you go execute and implement. That's what it's about, right? The knowledge is one thing, but if you don't activate and execute, then all you've done is spent a lot of time listening to us, right? And we want you to do more than spend your time. We want you to act on this information that we are sharing. I appreciate you guys immensely. Ms. Beverly, Curtis, you know how I feel about you, brother. It's a wonder to work with you guys. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, right? Not everybody wants a side hustle. Some people just want to be passive investors. We got a plan for that too, right? If you want to know more about that, reach out and we'll talk about that. But there are many people that have had businesses. I see some of our founders in the chat. I see Kanji in the chat from Udall. And small business, amazing tech company, right? She started this business with her sisters, and she's a small business looking for funding. She came to one of our Bet on Black pitches. Udall.com is the website. She came onto one of our Bet on Black pitches, and she's trying to raise capital. The knowledge she's going to obtain, just even from tonight, if she doesn't buy the grant course, right, has probably been tremendous to her. If she takes the class, that could be her business going to the next level, right? And so that's why we're here. We're here to make sure that our founders get the capital that they need, that our investors invest in or have the opportunity to invest in sound investment opportunities, right? And for our people who just want to learn what's out there, that you walk away being fed as well. And so there's a little something here for everybody. We hope that's what we try to aspire to. And we just want to thank you for being a part of this and riding with us. This is probably going to be the last night you see Cherie on camera. She's still going to be here for a little bit
I will
in the
be here.
background. But
Yes,
this
in the
is her
background.
last day on camera. Cherie, I just want to say to you publicly again, thank you for planting this seed of the 10K project. Had you not said, if 10,000 of us just put in $100, we could raise $1 million over and over again for founders, we would not be here. And
Yes.
so this torch will continue to be passed in your honor, because without you, there would be no 10K project. It was
Well, I
that seed,
appreciate
that seed that she planted that brought us here. And so it only takes a little bit, only takes for one thing, right? When you're driving by that abandoned building, say out loud to the person in the car, wonder if we could get that building. They may say, let's try, right?
Mhm.
It only took Cherie to say, 10,000 of us got together for me to then say, why you keep talking about it? Let's do something about it. And she said, I don't have time. I can't do this by myself. And then we all chimed in and said, you don't have to. She
Mhm.
just needed one person to plant the seed and one person to affirm that that was a good idea. So surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who want to see you win, who want to win themselves, who are motivated to do more, because it only takes you saying out loud one time for someone to say, let's try it.
Yeah.
Right?
And leverage your 10K family. Miss Beverly mentioned the $89. I know a doctor who wants to build clinics across the country in rural areas, especially to help Black and Hispanic people. Beverly, I just emailed you and connected you with him and his operations manager. So
that would be amazing. And I want to say,
yes.
Ms. Cherie, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to be reaching out to you on some other things that I'm personally doing, because I own a nonprofit as well. But, you know, Ms. Tawana, you said something about the young lady that has an IT company, correct?
Yep, she's right, and she's right in our chat.
AT&T just put up an IT grant for $12.2 million.
Wow.
The grant money is out here. The grant money is out.
It's just sitting. Now, I have that connection to the AT&T vice president because of my relationship with the state of Florida. I still maintain that relationship to this very day. And for me, anything I can do for you, Ms. Cherie, even though you're not going to be here, I'm going to make it my business to get you that CRA application.
Well, look, we will accept it. I'm
you.
still, Tawana and Talisha can't get rid of me that easily. So we will definitely make it happen with regards to the 10K project and other things as well. So
Cherie is a lifetime member. She's not going anywhere.
I'm a lifetime member.
She can't give her membership back if she tries.
No, and Mr. Tawana, I'm still not in the group, and I don't even know how to join.
Miss Beverly, I put you in the group like 3 times.
Okay, well, send me the group so I can get in there.
Okay, I will.
I'll help you, Miss Beverly.
Okay, and you know, Miss Talisha, I'm glad you stepped up, because see, I'm not market savvy. Okay, now if you say
I'll get you all the way together.
Okay,
ma'am.
if you say go find some money, I got you all day. Okay, but that marketing piece, no, that's not my speed.
Miss Beverly has done a great job. Even since she's come and we've been introduced, I said, Miss Beverly, do this, this, and this, and she's done it. So look, you point her in the right direction. She can definitely make it happen. But
and you know, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know, and
who
knows
I have been afforded that opportunity, Ms. Tawana, when the state shut us down. I left with 10,000 contacts, Miss Talisha. They just handed me the Rolodex and say, see you later. Here's your 401k going out the door. And here's a contact. And you know,
that Rolodex is priceless though.
Yeah, that Rolodex is priceless. And so all I can say is that I am here through the 10K project. I have grown, Miss Talisha and Curtis. I have learned things from these 2 ladies I didn't know. But when I come across something that can help the Black community, that can empower us to build wealth, because we were never taught, I was never taught how to build wealth. No one ever taught me. I had to learn it the hard way, okay? No one told me how to pinch my pennies. I actually set up an E-Trade account and learned how to trade by myself in 2 days, you know? But because I'm curious, because now getting into this real estate project is going to be an influx of money. And see, when you've been around money, it don't move me, you know, because I'm used to putting together big deals. I mean, that's what we did for a living. But to see it and not see our people take advantage of it, it hurts me to my heart, because I know what's sitting on the table. I mean, this NIH one grant, $89.7 million. And all they want you to do is open some clinics.
I got the guy for you. I'm telling you. His name is Dr. Max. I emailed him, CC'd you on it.
Okay.
And I am going to make it my personal mission, if he's still doing it, which he probably is, to connect the two, get you two on the phone.
Yeah, because
he's
now
the
that
guy
we have
that you
a nursing
want.
shortage, we have a nursing shortage in Florida.
Yeah.
They are going to go to more urgent care, and they're going to go to more, other, clinics. That's what they're getting back to,
Yeah. This is the guy. I want him to get that grant. So,
and Miss Talisha, I just want to say thank you, because I'm so over computers. Just sit me at a desk with a cup of coffee, let me write my grants, and I'm good.
I will make sure that you get to do what you do just better.
And you call me, Talisha, because I got a couple of questions. And Mr. Curtis, anything I can do to help you? Somebody opened the door for me. I was introduced to the CEO of Truist Bank. This man, that's an honor to get a personal invitation from the man that's running the show. Okay. Because one thing I learned, Mr. Curtis, all those bankers are what? Connected. They talk to each other. And I had the opportunity to sit in the room and soak up a little knowledge. So, Mr. Curtis, yes, me and you got to have a conversation. Okay.
Well, that's the whole point of the 10K project, is to build community, to figure out how we can work together, cooperative economics and wealth building, so Tawana, is that it for the evening?
Miss Tawana, can I help you do one thing?
What do you want to help me do, my love?
I found out from the Federal Reserve, you can open your own bank.
Merchant servicing.
Okay.
The Asians down the street did it. So why can't you do it?
And why can't I do it? There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason why I can't.
The Federal Reserve let me look at some of their little secrets. Banks are started by everyday people just like us. Credit unions have a board of directors. And the Federal Reserve comes in and just gives you this big line of credit and a vote.
Why she do that, Curtis? Why she say that?
Too much.
You see the hamsters? Why would she say that?
See, when Tawana woke up this morning, she didn't think that she'd be a bank president.
You my little world travel. I live vicariously through you. So all I'm gonna say, Ms. Tawana, if they can do it, 10K can do it.
Why can't we do it?
You can have your own bank.
That's true.
You already got the team in place. You already know about the checks and balances. And that way you have the power to reach underserved businesses that will normally not ever be reached. See, then it really puts the ball in your court, because see, you're African American, minority, and a woman. See, boom, trifecta right there.
Yeah. Guys, this is the year of thinking big and dreaming big. I said that as the year started. My only resolution was to see the world in a bigger way than I've ever seen it
Amen
before.
to that.
And so, I say to you, dream big, think big.
Yeah.
Don't discount anything. Stop, pay attention to the surroundings, because there's an idea in everything. I learned that from Curtis. Innovation and how you rethink things and how you see something and you see a flower, right? But is it really just a flower, right? What can be done with the flower? How many things are made with the flower? Like you just think about things differently when you take time to just slow down and really, really pay attention. And so, yeah, and there's 60 other Tawanas out here in the chat that may take that information and say, well, shit, Tawana may not do it, but I'm really interested in being a bank president, right? That message was for all of us, not just for me. This word tonight was for all of us. And so dream big, guys. That's all I have to say. This is it's intense. Y'all are too much. This is a lot. This is good a lot. It's
Well,
a good a lot.
Tawana, they
It's a lot.
got you buying businesses, getting $1 million grants, starting a bank, you know.
I still got to get my 10 doors in 2023. That's the I gotta
Your 10
I
doors.
gotta get my 10 doors. But Miss Beverly's grant information is gonna help me get my 10 doors.
Yes.
I
And
learned
that student
everything I
house,
needed to know.
and that student housing masterclass we did last month.
Mhm.
So, yes.
Yeah.
All
And then,
right,
you know, and
everybody.
got that money on the table, ladies. That's all I'm gonna say. Bank, real estate. Bank, real estate.
Go to the bank to fund the real estate. I get
Yes.
I get how it all works together. We put the
Yes.
links in. If you
Mhm.
guys are already on our mailing list, we'll be sending these links again. They've already been sent several times, but we'll send them to your email addresses as well. Join us at the10kproject.com. If you're not already a member, join our
Mhm.
Facebook group. Black 10K Project is our Facebook group. We'll be also putting these links there. So there's an opportunity to get the links. If you want to save the chat, if you haven't been able to copy the link, save the chat real quick. There's 3 little dots down at the right-hand corner of the chat. You should be able to save that, and the links are there. They'll save for you. Talisha, did you want to say anything, my dear?
No, ma'am.
This has been great. Cherie, love, 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 love. Thank you so much. Curtis, you know how I feel about you. Miss Beverly, you are a joy, a wonder. And I love that you have decided to share your 45 years of experience with us.
Yes.
48.
48.
48
Woo,
years of
48.
experience.
48. You could have been in any wealth building community sharing this, but you decided to come and have a relationship with the 10K Project, and we will honor that till the end of time.
And ever since I came
we
over
say you're
here,
valid.
doors have been opening for me. And, you know, when you pour into somebody else, you know, God gives it back to you. And this has been truly a blessing. And I'm humble. And I thank God for, you know, meeting all of you ladies. And it's, you know, it's just like, you know, I can't move fast enough. I said, like, I wish it was like 10 of me. And, you know, but God is allowing me to build my team. I'm going to be seeking out Curtis and Talisha. Talisha called me tonight. Okay.
Yes,
Soon as
ma'am.
we get off of here.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I'm just saying, ladies, look, it's so much out here. There's no stupid question to anyone on here. The opportunity, God is opening doors through all of us. All you got to do is decide, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want this? You going to sit and complain, or you going to get up and do something about it?
That part right there. Do something about it. That's what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
I did forget to talk about tomorrow's pitch. Tomorrow's pitch founder is actually a return founder. They came to us last year, had success. So they're coming back for a second raise on a different portal. They are solving the problem of parent carpooling. Parent carpool. They're solving the problem of parent, because if you're a parent and you understand the problems with getting little Johnny and little Susie to these different places, right? Then they have come up with a solution and they've solved that problem. What else? Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Bet on Black Pitch. That's Eastern time. Please come join us live. It's always a great time when we have more people participating live, asking the founders questions. And so we hope you can join us in person. But if you can't, we will send the replay out, and you clicking on that replay and watching it is also a good thing. All right. With that said, thank you so much. We appreciate you. For everybody in the chat, thank you for such lively conversation. And we just appreciate everything about you. We will see you again next week with another amazing guest teaching us something equally as amazing.
Mhm.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.